All right, fantastic, guys. Let me see if I can place this down a bit more. Let's go. Alrighty, guys. So welcome to this live stream. Today's live stream coming to you from the courtesy of the Stairmaster once again. Just finished a morning workout. Obviously, US markets are closed right now, and I want to talk about some videos that I've done just recently about market tops, about cycles, about silver, gold, and about Bitcoin. And I want to talk about those things here, you guys, because the biggest lessons that I've learned in the past have been from my biggest mistakes. And from those mistakes, it's led me to where I am now. And so that's why I want to talk about how my trading has evolved and how I come to understanding of the truth, regardless of what the appearances show, the truth of what they say. So I want to talk more about that in this session today, and really give you a good understanding of what's really going on in the markets there, and what's really moving forward there. So I know it's Thanksgiving over in America right now, but you know, I'm always thinking about the markets. I'm always thinking about how can I get better as a trader. I'm always trying to put the pieces together so I, as a trader and investor, can capitalize on, you know, some big moves in the markets there. So that's basically what I want to cover in today's live stream. And I know that you as a trader, I know that as you go through these markets, right, you seriously want to get ahead in these markets, and I understand, right? It can be confusing. It's like, what to focus on? What do I do? How do I get ahead? You know, I saw this video here, and I saw this video here, and, you know, and it's like, oh my goodness, this video made it sound so convincing that this is going to happen in the markets, and then I did it, and then when it gets me, and I can't believe it, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The things I'm going to talk about in this video, guys, have come. I love this song. We rise and we fall. We rise 4 times and we fall once. We rise 3 times. That's how success is done, right, guys? It's never just a singular act. It's a habit. You work, get success, get knocked down a little bit, and then go back up. And anyway, so let's get straight into today's live stream and what I want to talk about in the markets, okay? As I said before, guys. Okay, let's start with the stock market right now, okay? I did a video yesterday titled, I think, that, you know, see the proof the stock market top is in. And I did that video there. And within that video, I said that the top was in the markets, right? Now, here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing you must understand, is that one of the biggest mistakes that you can think is that the Dow Jones chart is a representation, or the NASDAQ chart is a representation of the stocks in that index. And which is not true, right? Because I guarantee you, there's a lot of things going on there, right? It's a market of stocks, as one of my private clients says, not a stock market, right? It's a market of stocks. So when we're looking at the Dow Jones and all that sort of stuff, that's just really the indices, right? You know, even though the Dow Jones might be holding up strong, you know, there may be a lot of stocks in the Dow Jones that have been falling quite hard. You know what I mean? So that's why, as a trader, you need to look at the market as what you see right now on that particular stock you're looking at. Because I guarantee you, there's stocks right now, which there are, making all-time new highs in the top 500 stocks. What? Yeah, Berkshire Hathaway, or almost new highs anyway. Coca-Cola, McDonald's. These stocks are making all-time new highs, and the market's been pulling back. What? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it does. Some stocks are stronger than others, and just because the market's pulling back doesn't mean all stocks are going to pull back. Make sense? So it's so important that when you're trading, you trade that individual stock based on that individual stock, not based on, you know, as for example, it's like It's like saying back in the time, now hindsight says you're going to be right. Not about being right anyway. But if you look at the NASDAQ, right, the NASDAQ pulled back so much harder than Apple did, right? And then it took a while for Apple to catch up, and then Apple pulled back, didn't it? But isn't it interesting that in the past, they said, oh, Apple went up, so did the NASDAQ. Do you know what I mean there? So a lot of people think, oh, well, the NASDAQ's pulling back, so therefore the Apple should pull back as well. Now, hindsight says, yes, it did pull back, but it didn't pull back for a while, did it, right? It just held there for a few months, for at least a month anyway, and then started to pull back, Apple did. What I'm trying to say is that whatever you think, try to put some logic back into the markets there, like, well, if that happens, that's going to have an effect on this, so therefore I'm going to do that. No. Okay? When you're looking at, so when I talk about cycle tops, put it this way, guys. The most important thing you can do is not be ignorant around the markets. Not have an ego. Because guess what? Whatever I think is right is always wrong. Whatever the charts are telling me right now, who's in control of this chart right now? Simple analysis, right? I know that sounds simple, but that's where it starts. And us as traders, if we're trading the markets, we need to flow with that and wait for a good setup. But on the macro picture, there's no better person out there to read up on if you seriously want to set yourself up, not just for the next 2 years of this market pullback, but for the rest of your life. To understand these cycles is Ray Dalio. Why wouldn't you want to understand if the market goes through cycles in a predictable format based on a cause-effect relationship, and you can say, okay, this is the cause, or the cause is, you know, these things are happening right now in the government. What's the effect? This is what's likely to happen, you know what I mean? So, as you are, if you're thinking just short term, that's okay, you know, as a trader, and that's what I do a lot. But it's so important for your long-term wealth to think big picture and to get out of your own way and think, okay, where are we right now? What's really going on? And Ray Dalio has put together one of the most best resource I've seen on the markets today. Been dealing in the markets for how long I have been dealing with. It is the most successful resource out there on this planet. I guarantee it. Studied the hell out of that thing. I'll tell you right now, even if it's just the first 60 pages of that very first book, understanding the big deck, the architect, right? Because he breaks down the averages of what's really happened. I guarantee if you read that thing 10 times, you start to look at this market in a different way. Why wouldn't you want to read someone who had the biggest managed fund on this planet and actually did well through the financial crisis, saw it coming, and then benefited from it, the market pulling back? Like, you know what I mean? So please, like, I don't know shit. You know? And to be honest, guys, I'm gonna take the phrases from Ray Dalio from his very first few words, from his principles, and that is, I'm really a dumb shit. And that's the truth. What I'm good at is what I've studied for a decade plus. And that's this trading thing. You know what I mean? Now, yes, there's been a lot of bumpy rides through there, and I've made a lot of screwed up mistakes. But from those mistakes, and because I didn't quit, I am where I am right now. Now, I still make mistakes. I still make them all the time, but not as often as I did, 5 years ago. So even with those mistakes, I still learn and I still improve, right? So as long as you don't quit these markets, you'll get ahead. But you've got to throw out you thinking you know it all, because a know-it-all attitude never moves forward. It's what you don't know what's really going on that's going to hurt you. And if you want to benefit from the next big short, there's so much that goes into that, right? Like so many people get so freaked out by one day movement. Like say, yeah, John, I want to benefit from the crash happening. All right, put a position on. And then the very next day it goes against them. Oh, It's like, you can't hold a position for 12 months. Do you know what I mean? It's like, where's your emotions? Your emotions are going to cause you to have a losing trade even though the position was right. I have the t-shirt for that. Make sense? So I hope you can understand that. These headphones just came off. I hope you can understand that. Let me see if I can get these headphones back on. I hope you can understand, guys. You know, that resource, Ray Dalio's cycle analysis, guys, tells you everything where we are right now. Listen to the guy. He's the most successful hedge fund manager on the planet. Delivered more funds as a return on investment to the investment than anyone else. You can't even get access to his fund right now. But not only that, go back to bare minimum of what the chart is telling you right now and look at the big picture. It tells you a story. And a simple analysis. You guys know what I'm talking about. If the sellers are in control right now, fight the market. You're not smarter than the market. Because right now, if you look at all the indices, we're creating massive head and shoulder formations. Actually, you know what? Dow Jones, S&P, NASDAQ, forget that. What are they creating? S&P and NASDAQ created what? A lower low. A lower low, is that an uptrend? No, an uptrend's a higher low, right? That means buyers are raising their prices. So a lower low, that means the sellers are lowering their prices. Forget what you think. Look at the truth. Then it ran up and created a lower high. And now we'll come back down to NASDAQ actually broke its previous low, and S&P and the S&P's made a double bottom. But who's in control right now? Not what you think, not what you hope for, not what you wanted to say, not what you're like, well, you hope it's going to say this, because like, no. Seek truth regardless of what anything else is saying out there. Forget what I'm saying. Go back in time and look at that's how the markets work. They start to flow. And the more you can get out of your way, I promise you guys, the more you can get out of your way of trying to fight the market and then go with the market, it is such a high probability position to be on. It's like right now, guys, okay? So that's the cycles in the markets right now. Like right now, I am short 2 stocks right now. Why? Because those charts are telling me. It's not because I'm trying to short a top. No. There's one stock that I'm short right now, put options, and that's in 100%, almost 100% profit already. And it's nowhere near where I think it's going to go. I got into that a week ago. Why did I get into that? The weekly chart started to roll over. Lower low, lower high, breaking off the previous low. So we have a downtrend now. Sellers are in control. And then the daily chart started rolling over as well too. Now, I didn't just use that. I made sure I used the proper timing to get into that stock. You know what I mean? So, because you could be right, as in like short the stock, and you get in at the wrong time, right? Where most people do. So I did that. And then just recently I shorted the stock big time, which is, why did I do that? Why did I short this particular other stock? Well, one, it's so overinflated compared to the average market. Secondly, that weekly chart is creating such a bearish formation. Thirdly, there's a false breakout to the top. And fourthly, what is the daily chart doing? Lower lows, lower highs, breaking of the previous lows. Sellers are in control right now. And that's all you have to trade with, right? You can't trade based on what you think is going to happen tomorrow. You have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. That's why I say never trade based on what you think, hope, or fear. Make sense, guys? So this is the truth about the markets. And we think that the magic in trading, is a YouTube video. It's going to give us that secret sauce or a subscription or anything like that. Where really, and what I do with my private clients, I'm like, no, get good at reading the chart. Get good at bringing back everything from the markets, remove everything. What do you guys see on some of my charts sometimes? Black bars, and that's it, nothing. Why? Because that's all you really need to understand what's going on right now. Who's in control right now? That's all you should be asking. Are the buyers raising their prices? Are the sellers lowering their prices? Or is no one in control? Because three things can happen. If no one is in control, that means they're not making higher highs or lower highs. It's just sideways messy, right? So that should be the very first thing you should be asking yourself on any market, on any stock, on any chart. Whether you're trading a 2-minute chart, a 5-minute chart, a 15-minute chart like I do on the Forex and futures, or whether you trade a daily chart like I do on the stocks, you know, or combine the weekly chart and the daily chart like I did with Bitcoin. You know what I mean? That's like, whatever chart I'm trading right now, I'm saying, who's in control right now? That's all that matters. Because remember, it's the market that tells you what's really going on, not what you think, hope, or fear. So, please, when you're navigating through, let me bring this, I want to speed this thing up a bit, get a bit more of a sweat on. Whenever you're looking at the markets, guys, it's so important that you understand the dynamics of, you know, of that, and understand the dynamics of you as a trader and how are you viewing these markets. Because I promise you guys, if you remove your ego and remove what you think, remove what you hope for, it's like, hey, market, you tell me what's going on right now. Not based on an indicator or an RSI or any of that rubbish. You say, market, tell me what's going on. Not John Howe, no, market, what's going on? Not what I want, not what I want you to say, not what I want you to say. What are you saying? Make sense? So what are people thinking about silver and gold right now? They wanted to say what? We've bottomed out. Have we bottomed out? No one knows, right? That trend is still pretty strong on the downside. We're getting a period of no one in control on the daily chart, silver and gold, and on the weekly charts it's still pretty weak, right? So the buyers haven't come in yet. So if you think you're picking a bottom, there you go. You think you're picking a bottom. You try to be right with the market. So don't fight the market. If you get into a silver and gold position, wait for it to turn around. Guys, it's not going to explode to all-time new highs in one day. I used to believe that shit. The stock market's not going to crash 20% or 50% in one day. I used to believe that shit. Now, stocks, yes. Indices, no. Right? That's why I like trading stocks more than the actual indices itself. Why? Because they can have a 20-30% down day in one day. And the NASDAQ or the S&P or whatever just does like maybe a 2% down day. You know what I mean? Because it's only one stock. So I love trading stocks for that reason. I actually don't even trade the indices. Well, I do, but I like the futures markets. I hope that makes sense. So that's based on silver and gold. And when it comes to Bitcoin, guys, please, there's such thing out there as a contrarian indicator, right? And the contrarian indicator simply says this: when most people are one way, you go the other way. That's a fact. And I remember my mentor early on when I first started trading this investing personal development career. He's like, I never know what to do, but I find out what most people do and I do the exact opposite and I seem to do well. Right? So what are most people doing right now with Bitcoin? They say it's still going to go up. Heck, your mate, bipolar, you're still saying it's going to go up. The thing's dropped 30% in a week. Like, seriously? He said we're going to get an explosion in price to the upside, and it dropped 30%. And then he comes out and says, we're still going to get a big move up. Yeah, when it gets to $100. You know what I mean? It's like, flow with the market. Flow with the market. And that's what I want to say about Bitcoin, because those hodlers out there are still holding and hoping. Oh, John, you don't understand. Well, what did I say? Well, I've read this research paper, and this research paper, and all my research, it says this. Really? What about the research with the AAA ratings that went true? Oh, have you seen the China Hustler? What about their research papers? $100 million is worth $10. Really? But the research said $100 million. So how can you believe the white paper of these things that are about to get crushed by the regulators and the government? You know what I mean? Like, look at truth, seek truth regardless of appearance. To me, I don't really care. I don't really care, guys, what happens on the crypto market. Because when it comes to Bitcoin, I've already made my money anyway. Make sense? Meaning, like, I shorted that thing as soon as it started breaking out. I was waiting for that thing. I shorted it, and I bet not because I thought it was going to go up or I broke out. So therefore, I mean, look at that there. You know what I mean? Like, no, the charts told me, and my sister told me, get ready for a breakout. We did. I jumped on it, and I benefited from it. Right now is not the right time to short Bitcoin. And right now is not the right time to buy Bitcoin. Why? Because we have a lot more downside to come. This is just the start. Look at those weekly charts on Bitcoin if you don't believe me. We had the calm. I think we just lost connection there. Anyway, so what do we have on the Bitcoin weekly chart? We had the calm before the what? Storm. The storm just happened for the last few weeks. It hasn't even really hit, really. Wait to see what's going to happen here soon. I'm still short Bitcoin, by the way, but I've locked in a really, really nice profit. So regardless of what happens, we get a massive spike up. I get taken out for a nice profit. So regardless of what Bitcoin does from now, I'm good. If it keeps falling, I make even more profit. If it spikes up, I get stopped out for a really nice hefty profit. Why? Because I go with the market and I'm not too greedy. And that's where a lot of people go wrong, right? They get fearful. They get really, really, really fearful about, oh, what if I'm wrong? And then they get into a trade, it's like, oh, I'll get in. Oh, I'm at a really nice profit, I better take it right now because I hope, just in case, if it reverses on me, then, you know, I'm fear of now your fear of losing, now it's like fear of losing all the profit you just made. Where if you just kept that emotional calm, most times out of 10, or a lot of times out of 10, that profit you had would have been 3 or 4 times X if you just kept your cool. Make sense? So that whole fear of being wrong, you know what, you should be fear of being wrong if you fight in the market, especially Bitcoin right now. And not really listening to the market as well too. So anyway, guys, let's actually answer some questions here, guys, and then I'll finish up. Being hold a long-term trader silver. This is floors, okay. Big monthly charts say buyers are still in control. All indices are still making higher lows and higher lows above the multi-decade. What do we look at the monthly chart? That's going way too much, you know? Way too, not the monthly chart. At least go to the weekly chart. That's way too long. It's not going to give you a real indication of what's really happening right now in the market. So weekly chart, I would say go there. And above all that, go with the daily chart. Because the daily chart is telling you what's happening right now. Right? It could change next week. So you change. That's what trade is about. Worried there will be a tsunami of bombers like me selling out of the dollar knee in a market crash. What do you think? Well, there you go. You think something's going to happen to something which is going to cause the market to crash. Don't think. That's, who knows, right? Who knows? Don't think about a tsunami. What should you be focused on? Look at the charts. And right now the charts are making lower lows and lower highs, and almost all indices are breaking previous lows. NASDAQ has. So who's in control right now? And I know that sounds simple. And I know it's not the fancy, fundamental thing that people want to hear and see, but it's the truth. And the more we can stick to what's that truth right now, the better trader we'll be. Anyway, guys, I'm done for the day. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm always on this market because I know where I'm going and I won't stop until I get there.